All right. Well, we are here with Mike Sneed, a Marine infantryman from Vietnam, and Mike's a friend of mine. And I want to ask him a few questions about his service. So, Mike, maybe start us off by telling a little bit about your life before you joined the Marines.
I grew up in West Texas, a town called Odessa, Texas. Pretty good size. It was just typical, if there is such a thing, a typical West Texas town growing up because it was regular school, everything's football, big time football, and that's basically it. It was just nothing to write home about. Just it was a good life, and then one day I ended up joining the Marines.
So let's talk about that a little bit. I think you've got a pretty interesting story of how it came about that you joined the Marines.
A buddy of mine come to me one day. I was sitting in what they call a sub, the student union building at college, and he said, "I've got to go do some interviews. Want to tag along?" I had no idea who the interviews were, and I said, "Yeah, sure, got nothing else to do." So we left and pulled in the first one, and basically they were all right. All the recruiters in one spot. I said, "Oh, you did recruiters?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." And we went in the first one. I can't remember who it was, Navy or somebody, and he went back to his interview, and the other guy sitting up front said, "Want to join the Navy? Want to be a sailor?" I went, "No, appreciate it." And we did the same thing: Navy, Army, Air Force, right on down the line. And we got to the Marines, same thing. He went back there, was back in the back room doing his interview. The guy up front said, "Want to join the Marines?" I went, "Yeah." "What? Who said that?" And to this day, I told you before, I have not a clue why I did that. I guess it was just destined to me to be in the Marines.
Something spoke up from inside you and
Something
said
did, yeah.
something, yes. And your friend wasn't even there on a recruiting visit. He was just there interviewing them.
Yeah, he was doing a paper for a class, one of the classes or something, and he had this all lined up just to do interviews. And I don't know, I didn't never knew what the paper was or what they did after that, but no, he
Yes.
wasn't about to join.
Some slightly different paper was signed at that point
Yeah,
then.
it was. Yeah.
So did he ever feel guilty that you joined the Marines?
No, but I can remember got home that night, was sitting around the living room, and I was trying my best to figure out how to tell mom and dad.
Oh boy, but that was
And I
difficult.
sat there and I went, join the Marines crew. My dad looked at him and said, "What? What did he say? What did he say? What did he say?" And he just stared at me. And he just all of a sudden took a moment and turned and looked at her and said, "He joined the Marines today." And then the tears and stuff went. It was hard
Uh-huh.
because I thought I was going to get my butt kicked, then,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing happened. So anyway, I ended up going to boot camp in December of 1965.
65. Okay, so Vietnam's ramping up at that point, and so that's the first thing that came to your parents' mind probably when you said that, right?
Probably it didn't phase me. I didn't think anything about it. I hadn't, Vietnam was like way off somewhere, and I just
Right.
never thought anything about it until actually I got into the Marines, and then it started building up with as far as we were concerned. We
Right.
had 8 weeks of boot camp,
Mm-hmm.
which that should have told us something because normally boot camp was 12 weeks.
Right. Yeah, Marine boot camp's a little
Yeah,
longer than.
yeah, it was in and out. And he left there and went to ITR, which is Infantry Training Regiment.
Mm-hmm.
Went through all the infantry training stuff, and then from there he went to school, whatever school he was going to go to. And I got orders there to go to 11th Engineer Battalion, um, and we were there probably 2 or 3 weeks. We did all kinds of training and stuff, and rumors were going around. And finally, they called everybody up to attention and said, "Rumors are true. We are on our way to Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say a soul. Tell a soul.
Right. Yeah.
You can't leave the base. You can't do anything.
Wow.
No. They didn't want anybody to go have the chance to go AWOL.
Right. Okay.
You were stuck right there."
So maybe talk a little bit about the arrival of Vietnam. What was that like? What was, stepping foot in Asia, Southeast
Well,
Asia?
when we first got there, and I've told this many times before, like I guess got to change it up because people don't understand. We went over there to basically kick ass, and take names. We were going to have the bayonet in our teeth and John Wayne attitude and go up the hill and kill everybody.
Mm-hmm.
When we first got there, they sent an envoy in. There was a couple of jeeps and some trucks and stuff to go in and find where we were staying, Dong Ha. That's this little village we were going to be. And they had to go in and do that. And when the word got back to us that they went in. They weren't in the country for very long. Ran over a landmine and killed one of the drivers, one of our friends. I wouldn't say friend, acquaintance, because I just knew of him. But that's when it hit us. This is real. This is no John Wayne movie.
Right. Never got a chance to do anything back there.
No, it was, and then when we got off the ships and they took us in, one of the things that caught me off guard when I first got there was that the first time I'd ever seen Vietnamese people. They were just walking down the road on each side. And one of them one time decided to go to the bathroom and pulled up the outfit they were wearing and right there and kicked some dirt over it. And we thought, wow. But they don't have bathrooms per se. They're little huts and things. That's just what they do.
Right.
That's a little bit of a culture shock.
Not in West Texas anymore, are we?
No, we're not in West Texas anymore, Toto.
So how often were you out? Did you go out in the field? Did you pack up and take off and go out in the field?
Didn't go out in the field. Not that often, as far as we went out basically looking for. We had engineers that were looking for places to put a landing zone, places to put a road, and we had to go with them as like riding shotgun.
Right, escort duty. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when it was when they sent out the heavy equipment to do all this stuff, then we actually rode shotgun on those machines because of these snipers. I mean, it was a jungle. You couldn't see the forest for the trees type thing. Sometimes it was pretty regular, but nothing major.
Okay.
You just go out and go with them, and kind of boring at times. But then there was times where you went in. We went in after Puff, what we used to call Puff the Magic Dragon, which was an airplane with the side cut out. It was like Gatling guns. And when we would fire our weapons at night, every fifth round, I believe, I'm getting old, was a red bullet. You could see where you were.
Yeah, the tracers. Yeah.
Every round on Puff was a tracer round. Just a wall of fire, red, went down. And we would go out. We only did that, I think, 2 times that I can remember. They were making landing zones.
Okay.
And they would drop Agent Orange to kill this area that they had designated. And then Puff would come in, and whatever's there, it'd cut down trees, kill anything that's there, water buffalo, it'd kill them. And then we would go in, and with the heavy equipment, they would just level everything. That was a little tense there because that was new territory.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But the only time I got hurt, I was all that time after. There's no thing as front and rear. Of course, the rear was better than being out there in the bush, but they drop bombs in on you, hand grenades, just all kinds of things. And one time we had been to Chow, middle of the day, nothing going on, and they put mortar rounds.
Mm-hmm.
It'd sit up on a mountain up there somewhere, and it hit. They'd shoot them. That's the one that they drop in, cover their ears up, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And shoot them, and most of the time they go on the perimeter where it was guarded, and we'd sit there and listen for a minute, and then they just stay there. So we didn't worry about it. But they started walking them.
Mm-hmm.
They would come and get louder and louder. Then you had to start worrying about it. Well, we had one time, no, they're not doing it. Well, they didn't walk them. They jumped them.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't do like that. They went here to here. And they were bouncing all around us. And there was a trench there, and I run to it and jumped into it. My feet went up underneath me. I thought I tripped or something on a rock. I was just laying in it, and rocks and dirt stuff was piling all around me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they got really that close, but close enough that I could feel them. And I thought, man, it was over. Well, that was a close one. I looked down, there's a piece of red hot shrapnel sticking out of my ankle. I went, ah! Your adrenaline was going so much.
Didn't even feel it when it happened.
I didn't know. Like I said, my feet went up underneath me, and I thought I tripped over a rock or something. But that was that shrapnel that knocked my feet out from underneath me. And so they called for corpsmen. They picked me up and took me over first aid station, and they numbed it all down there. Well, the first guy, the corpsman who come to me says, I got to clean it. Okay, I was in pain. I said, don't care what you do. What I did, because he took a bottle of alcohol and went to clean all the dirt out of it, and I almost killed him. Oh, man, that hurt. And so they took me back, and I just sewed me up, and I said, I'm going to go home. He said, no, you're not. I said, really? Yes, yeah. You're all right. And I was, they sewed me up. I was limping around for a while, and that was it.
Not $1 million wound. Didn't quite get to that level.
No. Didn't make movies or anything like that. So. Yeah. The forest, I think, was one of the biggest things. But the other big thing was the monsoon season.
Mm-hmm.
It rained every day. Now, I'm not going to say just pouring down. There was always some sort of precipitation coming down. And they don't have where I was, I don't know if anywhere else around Vietnam, but where we were, the mud wasn't mud. It was runny.
Mm-hmm.
It just never got, and if you got into the rice fields, that would be mud there because they had been working that.
Right.
But I see somewhere people, like in movies, will run across a rice paddy.
Uh-huh.
No. You don't run across the rice paddy. You just stuck down in there. So, but and you never got dry. Clothes never got clean. Just had to try to stay up with it.
So being wet and dirty for
about 3 months or so.
3 months of the monsoon season.
First, thought it was okay, and then it said, enough is enough.
Right.
And I was talking to somebody here a while back that was over there, and I said, is it just me, or did I never see or hear thunder and lightning? He said, you didn't. I don't know if that's there now. If it was, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it raining constantly, but no, major thunderstorms,
right,
wind,
storms.
That sort of thing. It was just rain. When we came home, everybody, they flew us to Okinawa. And we got there, they had us all fill out these forms and everything. They said, make your reservations from LA International to your home, wherever that's going to be. That's where you're flying into. Mm-hmm. And there was about maybe 10, 15 of us, not too many. Got this one bus, they took us to the airport. We're walking down the aisle following this guy who's taking us to where our flights are going to be. And people are yelling at us. They're calling us all kinds of names. We didn't know what was going on over here. Mm-hmm. And they were calling us, baby killers. And then,
I didn't kill any babies.
Didn't see a baby, what are you talking about? And they wouldn't let up. And then there was like flower power back then. they started throwing flowers at us and stuff, and hit somebody the wrong way, and fight was on.
Hmm.
And police were called, come in there, and, they broke it all up. And we were talking later. Said, "What the heck? 13 months we was in Vietnam, 15 minutes back here, and we're in a fight with our own people."
I know you didn't hear this much on your return, your own personal return from Vietnam, but I wanted to say, thank you for your service, Mike. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate that too. I'm getting it a little more every time nowadays. I've had people actually go out of their way now, and I think they're coming over there to kick my butt or something because they're walking right straight at me. They stick their hand out and say, "Thank you for serving."
Not a confrontation.
Not a confrontation.
Yeah.
But it's good to hear though.